Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome or welcome back to my channel and to another Pick a Card reading. Today's reading, we're going to be looking at what it is that you need to know or be aware of about someone. So we're going to be snooping a little bit into or looking into someone's energy to find out a little bit more about who they are as a person, or what traits or parts make up who they are, and how it kind of how it shows to the outside world or to you. But basically, in hindsight, without trying to make this too cryptic, we're just trying to find out a little bit more about a particular person that you have on your mind, and it can be anybody, including yourself. So the intention is to find out what you don't already know about someone or about yourself that might be helpful for you to know. We're going to be pulling a word of advice as well, and we're going to be getting an unknown, the wild unknown archetype cards to find out a little bit more about this person as well. So this should be an interesting read. Please remember, lovely people, that this is a very general reading, that time is an illusion and energy is fluid, and that you'll need to apply the messages as they resonate to you. Please feel very free to leave feedback and comments below, including any readings that you might want to do, any requests on any particular topics that you might find helpful or fun or useful. And if you would like to get a personal reading with me, you can find all my details in the description box below. Without any further ado, I'm about to pause the video because I am about to show you the 3 different cards that you have to choose from for your reading. I'll see you on the other side. Hello, beautiful soul. So these are the 3 different cards that you have to choose from for your reading. To find out what it is that you need to know about this person that's on your mind, and that person could be you. We're getting further inside with the intention of getting information that you're not already aware of. So pile 1 or reading 1, we have fog. It's a bit mysterious. Pile 2 or reading 2, we have frog. And pile 3 or reading 3, we have caiman. I think that's how you pronounce it. To me, this looks like a baby crocodile or an alligator. And I'm sorry if I've not pronounced this properly, but I think it's pronounced caiman. And that's just what I'm going to say. So it doesn't really matter anyway. It's the intention and the energy, right? So those are the 3 cards that you have to choose from for your reading. Now, if you need a little bit more time to kind of have a think about or sit with which card is going to be the right one for you for your reading, I will just get you to pause the video because I am about to start the readings. Hello, pile 1, or for those of you who chose fog, this is your reading. I feel like this person is someone that's quite mysterious, and someone who I feel like is hard for you to see their true form. Because when I'm looking at this card, I feel like there's a bear face here trying to come through, or a lion is another one I'm getting. I feel like this person is pretty fiercely strong is what I'm getting as well, but it's kind of like they're misunderstood or they're not clearly seen for who they are. And because of this, some people can find them quite scary. Okay, but let's look at the tarot cards. I did also pull an archetype as well, just to kind of represent this person's energy and what might be good for us to kind of know further or deeper about this person. So we got the Starborn. This is a really beautiful card. So this person here carries an energy of kind of potential destiny and becoming with this egg here. And there may be something about them that feels really different, unique, or kind of difficult to fully understand, which we got through with fog. This person, I feel like, could be going through a really important period of growth and or awakening, even if others kind of don't see it yet as well, is what I'm getting here. So this is a big one. Big personality, very strong, a strong personality. Anyway, before I make any more assumptions, we begin with the Page of Cups and Death. So this person might be experiencing a deep emotional transformation, and with death, because this is all about endings and rebirth, right? On the surface, they can appear like really curious with this Page of Cups energy, like really curious people, sensitive, quite open-hearted, but internally there's a lot of old emotional stuff going on, and an old emotional chapter is really ending for this person, I feel. They might be letting go of kind of like of a past attachment, a belief, a mindset, a relationship, or a version of themselves. And there are feelings changing here that others might not be aware of. With the Ten of Wands and Strength, this is someone, I believe, who carries a lot, and they carry a lot more than they actually show. This person, I think, is under quite a bit of pressure and dealing with a lot of responsibilities, stress, maybe emotional burdens, yet they're handling it with remarkable resilience here, with strength. And you and others might perceive them as like really strong people, but you don't really realize how much effort it's taking for this person to keep going. With the Six of Swords, with Temperance clarifying, this person is someone that's really always likes to try to kind of move towards, calmer, like a calmer way of being and state of mind. And they try to kind of find balance out of difficult situations. And they might be people that quietly kind of distance themselves. With these people walking off, I'm being really highlighted to this person here. And with Temperance, this is all about finding that balance, right? Finding that balance with kind of still remaining connected, but still kind of being true to themselves as well, where they need that kind of space and that ability to kind of heal and recover from when they're going through difficult periods. And at the moment, this person is going through a difficult period of time in their life, for sure. Your words of advice as the viewer for this person. in regards to your connection or your time with them, or the energy that you put into them. We have two very, very interesting cards. We have the Sun and the Devil. So this is really telling me to tell you to approach this person and this situation with openness, honesty, and clarity, and make sure that you avoid making assumptions about this person and their situation. And the Sun really encourages seeing things as they kind of truly are, and focusing on what is known rather than what is feared. With the Devil, this is really saying be mindful of kind of unhealthy attachments or obsessions or fears or projections that you may have on this person, and also kind of not allowing yourself to become trapped by overthinking about this person and what's going on for them, or fixating on the situation, or trying to kind of control the outcome for this person or this situation. And really notice where fear might be influencing your perspective on this person, okay? Because these are cards of advice for you as the viewer. So overall, pile one, for you as the viewer, kind of seek clarity rather than speculation with this person, and be open to the truth, and avoid becoming overly attached to a particular story or outcome with this person, and trust what is revealed naturally instead of trying to force answers with this person or this situation. But there's nothing here that's kind of indicating that this person is malicious or has negative energy or anything like that. They are going through a transitional phase. They are someone that comes across as at times very sweet and innocent, or this is the side of them that you're not aware of. There's this sweetness and this innocent, but they're trying to grow and transform. They carry a lot of stuff. But you just outwardly, they look like this strong person, right? And that's why you get that fog with them, because it's kind of like you feel like you can see them, but you can't really, right? It's hard to see in the fog. And they're people that like to be aware of how they feel. So when they're feeling like this, they like to be able to maybe pull back and transition and balance themselves out again. But it takes a lot of strength for them to show up as the person that you see them as. This is underneath all that, okay? So make sure you don't project things on them and you see them for what they really are, rather than making assumptions about this person, okay? So pile one, I really hope you enjoyed your reading. Please feel very free to leave feedback and comments below. And of course, if you would like to get a personal reading with me, you can find all my details below. You can also support me by subscribing to my channel. Give the video a thumbs up if you really enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next reading. Bye. Hello, pile two, or for those of you who chose, for those of you who chose the frog, this is your reading. This is such a beautiful image of this frog. I feel like you really kind of, if you find this frog cute, which I'm going to assume most people would, I kind of feel like this is like someone that has this kind of like youthful, kind of innocent energy, and at their core, they're really playful and loving and really cute and adorable is what I'm getting here. There is darkness behind them though, obviously, because this is all nocturnal. This is a nocturnal oracle card deck. But I feel like that says a lot as well. But let's get into the cards and find out what they say. So the oracle card, the archetype I pulled for this person is the Shadow. This is really talking about the shadow side of people, which is, for those of you who don't know, is the shadow side is the side of ourselves that we are not aware of. And it's generally the more kind of negative traits that we have, or the parts that we've kind of disowned through kind of trauma and all that sort of stuff. And when people talk about doing shadow work, that's when you're really integrating your shadows so that you can learn to unconditionally love yourself and your shadow side so that you no longer suffer as much, right? But anyway, with this person, I feel like this is someone who is maybe not always aware of their shadow side. And that there's parts of them that really remain hidden, even from themselves, you know, sort of unacknowledged or not fully understood within themselves and kind of as you see them. And they might be working through a lot of fears, kind of insecurities, old wounds and trauma, or aspects of themselves that they don't easily reveal to others, right? So I kind of feel like this is how this person appears, but this is what's going on in the background. Okay, but let's look further. To start off, we have isolation. We've got a lot of major arcanas here, so there's a lot of karmic stuff that this person is going through and hopefully learning from as well, or you, depending on whether this is about you. So isolation clarified by the rebirth. So what you might not know about this person is that this person has gone through a lot of heartache. This person has gone through a lot of suffering in their life. This person, whatever that may look like, but there's someone who in their heart is very, very sad and can kind of sometimes feel very isolated through their sadness, right? And with rebirth, which is a major arcana, this kind of isolation appears to have been transformative in their life rather than just kind of purely negative. And they are emerging from like a significant personal challenge, or significant personal challenges may have built up over time, because we're talking about shadow work here. So, you know, I feel like this person is like leaving an old version of themselves behind and really stepping into a new chapter. And this is what you don't know about this person, or they're trying to do this. So, of course, time is an illusion and energy is fluid. People have their own free will. So they're either doing this or they need to do this. But I feel like this is kind of what they're trying to do at the moment. It's a challenging journey, though, because it really means looking at yourself and facing the bits of yourself that you really don't like and admitting them, you know, which can be really painful but incredibly empowering as well. With the lovers and conditioning, there may be an important connection or choice in regards to matters of the heart influencing this person, or that do influence this person, generally speaking, right? And with conditioning clarifying, this is really suggesting that they're kind of struggling with, they can tend to struggle with expectations placed on them by either society, family, past experiences, or just learnt beliefs that they have. And they may not be acting entirely from their authentic desires, because they're still untangling what they truly want from what they've been taught to want. Because this is conditioning, is you know, it's the wolf in sheep's clothing, or what it is really here is, it looks like a lion, weird, a lion in sheep's clothing, right? And I feel like relationships and connections are really big for this person, right? and a lot of their decisions are made around their connections with other people. But with this big rebirth and the isolation, this is a very heavy reading, this one. This person, there's a lot, this person is so multi-dimensional and complex, but there's a lot they're learning, right? And they've been conditioned, like a lot of us, to just try and fit in, and I'm going to wear the sheet because then I can fit in, but I'm not happy. They're not happy. If you're not living your authentic true self and doing what you truly want and what your heart desires, you're not going to be happy. You might be blending in with everyone else, and that might be more comfortable and easy for you or this person. But I feel like it gets to a point where you or this person then wonders why they feel unfulfilled or upset or depressed or like this, because they're not living their authentic true lives, right? And there has to be a decision made around this. And this person really struggles with this, but I think they're really starting to become aware of this, right? Because they still want connection as well. Connection is deeply important to this person. But you're not going to get deep and a really deep and true, amazing connection with someone if you're not being yourself. You're just going to end up kind of attracting the same sort of people and not evolving as a person and not getting out of the disguise that you're wearing or the mask that you're wearing to fit in with everyone else. Creativity. Creativity clarified by traveling. This person is really wanting to expand and grow. And their creative energy, they want freedom. They want to be able to explore and have new experiences. And they may even dream about new opportunities or kind of like adventures, and maybe being in different environments or having a fresh direction in life or making new friends or eating new foods or just a different way of being, right? And there's a strong desire here to really break out of their own limitations and discover what is kind of possible for this person. And that doesn't specifically have to be through like travel. It can just be through discovering themselves internally and expressing that. I feel like these people are actually really creative people who have lived a life where they've kind of ended up doing. Please leave feedback and comments below. This is just what I'm picking up for this person here. I feel like this person, like a lot of other people, has gone through some really hard times in life, and it has kind of shaped their identity and who they are, and they've probably kind of had to maybe grow up quickly, right? And maybe fend for themselves. And I feel like this person is starting to realize that they need to, in order for them to come out of this and to rebirth into their true authentic selves, that they need to make a decision about letting go of old stuff and trying new things, rather than just sitting in the comfortability of this, because it might feel comfortable and known, but it's not, there's a lot, yeah, in summary, right? Anyway, there's nothing overtly negative about this person. I think they just don't really know who they really are, like a lot of people, but it feels like their journey is about that. And maybe they're in the midst of it, but you'll know them better than me. So advice for the viewer. okay, about this person or you. We have stress clarified by playfulness. So this is just saying be aware of creating unnecessary pressure around this person or this connection. Because stress can distort perception and make situations appear more complicated than they are. So avoid kind of over-analyzing every detail of this person, which can be very easy to do when there's all this complexity going on, okay? And playfulness is really saying that, you know, approach this person or yourself with a lighter heart, with that playfulness we were talking about here, you know, to encourage sort of curiosity, flexibility, and enjoyment of kind of just being more in the present moment. You know, not everything needs to be solved immediately, and sometimes understanding comes more easily when you kind of stop forcing it, is what I'm getting here, pile 2. So I really, really hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope it's given you clarity and or insight into this person that you were asking about or yourself. And thank you so much for your ongoing love and support, pile 2. I'll see you at my next reading. Ciao. Hello there, pile 3. For those of you who chose Cayman, or the alligator or the crocodile, this is your reading. This is someone that's a little bit stealth. This is someone who is patient, instinctual, and observational, and they have quiet power, I feel. I don't think they reveal much about themselves. Obviously, that's why you're watching this reading, but they reveal very little on the surface whilst underneath their care, whilst they're still carefully watching and assessing their surroundings, right? And they tend to move deliberately rather than impulsively, is what I'm getting here. But let's get into your tarot cards. The archetype that you got is Annamundi. So Annamundi is the soul of the world. So this really suggests that this person or you is someone who is deeply connected to larger patterns, intuition, and the interconnectedness of life is what I'm getting here. And you've got this person sitting here meditating with all the kind of all the horoscopes and elements and interesting things, right? So this is a pretty interesting person. There's definitely more depth to them than people initially realize, and they might be influenced, and they people that are really influenced by subtle feelings, synchronicities, or kind of like a strong inner knowing, and they kind of pick up on energy and that type of stuff. Let's get into the rest of the reading. Okay, so to start off with, we have the Page of Swords and the King of Pentacles. So this person is someone that really likes to observe and learn and gather information whilst trying to kind of maintain a practical and grounded approach, which makes a lot of sense with these two, especially this one, right? And this person is a lot more strategic than they appear to be. And kind of while others see this kind of stability and this confidence, this person secretly might be studying a situation carefully before they make decisions. So there's strategy here with this person, kind of a bit like here, and picking up on subtle things, but they seem grounded, right? But they're taking in a lot. With the Magician and the Queen of Cups. This is a really powerful blend of kind of like manifestation and intuition here. And this person, I think, uses both logic and emotional intelligence to kind of shape their future and what happens for them. They could have really strong creative abilities, persuasive skills, or kind of like talents for turning ideas into reality, right? What you and others might not realize is how much they trust their intuition when they're making really important choices, is what I'm getting here as well. So it's kind of like all the elements are really being brought together here when you think about it. We've got the earth, we've got the water, we've got air elements, and then we've got fire. Very cool. With the Wheel of Fortune and the King of Wands, there's kind of like, this is a person where there's kind of like a significant change or a turning point that might be happening for this person. And there always kind of seems to be, or there is kind of opportunities for this person. And there's things that kind of push them towards kind of greater leadership, confidence, or kind of personal ambition with the King of Wands. So they're the types of people that are always kind of preparing to take charge of something important, even if they haven't openly shared it with you. So this person is someone who is entering a really powerful phase of growth and self-direction. And I feel like they always kind of have been, and it's always kind of, they're always like tinkering away at what the next project is or what growth they want to make within themselves. This is a very interesting person. They have all the elements here. They carefully observe their circumstances and other people. They trust their intuition and they position themselves for opportunities that are always ahead, right? And there's a really strong theme here of personal empowerment with this person, of kind of like leadership and stepping into kind of like larger roles or purpose in life. They like to keep the wheel turning. They like to continue to grow. They like to continue to evolve in a way that makes them feel really confident. Now, the cards of advice for you as the viewer, we have the Six of Pentacles and Justice. So Six of Pentacles is about kind of seeking balance. It's about giving and receiving and allowing the connection or situation to flow naturally rather than trying to force an equal outcome immediately here, okay? So what I'm getting here as well is kind of pay attention to where energy, effort, and support are being exchanged with this person. And with Justice, this is about looking at this person and the situation objectively and focusing kind of on the facts, on actions and truth rather than just assumptions that you make about this person, because we all can make assumptions about people. So yeah, Justice is really encouraging fairness, honesty, clear judgment, and what is meant to be understood will become clearer through observation rather than speculation, like with a lot of things, but especially with this person as well. So this is really about maintaining balance and fairness with this person and observing their actions rather than making assumptions about their motives. And just kind of trusting that clarity comes through honesty, patience, and allowing events to unfold just naturally is what I'm getting here for you, pile 3. So pile 3, I really hope you enjoyed your reading as much as I did doing it for you. If you would like to get a personal reading with me, you can do so by finding the link to my website below. If you'd like to support me in another way, you can do so by subscribing to the channel, giving the video a thumbs up. You can also leave me a tip through my PayPal. But most importantly, I want to say thank you so much for your ongoing love and support. And I hope you've gotten what you've needed to from this reading. I'll see you at my next one. Bye.